Okay, hey, what's up, guys? Can y'all hear me? Appreciate y'all coming out to the show. I already see some people in the comments, so that's great. Let me say what's up to everybody. Let me go to the comments here. Luis Enrique, that's my guess for your name. What's up? It says live for feet art when? Okay, maybe we'll just go to a different person here. Hey, what's up, Massive Panda? How you doing, man? Appreciate you coming out to the show. Let me go to Naruro Retozale. I always just shorten your name to Naru. So what's up, man? Appreciate you coming out to the show, dude. Let's go to Nick Stream. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming out to the show. And then what's up to El May? How you doing? Appreciate you coming out to the show as well. And then we'll just go ahead and get started with the drawing. I have just today finished the main coloring work on chapter 3 of Saintly. So I'm almost in relax mode where I'm just like, okay, yeah, I don't have to do anything for the rest of today, and then tomorrow I'll just start on chapter 4. Like, I'm just gonna go straight into the next one, and we don't like, if I had like the luxury of taking a break, like a huge long break, I would, but it is not that type of situation. Let me open up the iPad here so we can get that started. But I wonder if I can show y'all a few pages from chapter 3. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, chapter 3 for most of y'all won't come out for like months. So it starts with chapter 1, and then all the regular what do you call it? Viewers on the website. I'm probably gonna have a website for Saintly to get the pages up, and a what do you call it? A Webtoons page, maybe. I don't want to have to format it for Webtoons, and that's gonna suck. But I mean, it's the lead. I mean, just to get more of an audience, I'd probably do it. Let me see here. Let me pull up the iPad. Okay, I'll just unplug it, then plug it again. There we go. But yeah, that's the situation with chapter 3. I'm just trying to figure out which pages I can show and which I can't. Hey, what's up, Ichthys? How you doing? Appreciate you coming out to the show, dude. Says the colors of the pinup look excellent. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Master Panda says it would be one thing if your artwork was dog trash, but it's phenomenal. No jock writing. So the fact that you've already wrapped up coloring on issue 3 is insane. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, man. Like that took from beginning of June to now, and that was going from pencils to what other stuff, like pencils to hold on, pencils to inks to final colors, and all of that is just hard. It's hard to do. Let me see. Okay, I'm trying to pull up, what's it called? The iPad so we can show the screen. Let me see if it'll post up. For some reason, it's not appearing. Let me see. There's just some internal issue. just unplugging and plugging in a few things here so it might register. Let me see what's up. No, escape that. So I'm going to turn off the screen, then turn it back on. And if not, I'll have a plan B of some sort to get things going again. But let me see. Because I could always just do the illustration on the... Like, I'd have to bust out my... what's it called? My tablet. And then do the art on the actual tablet instead. But let me see. It's not connecting. So I think what I'll do in this case is restart my computer really fast. But I'll still be up on the screen. So that's available. But I'm going to have to restart the computer if I want to connect the iPad. So I'm going to see if that'll work really quick. Let's try it out. Hopefully this doesn't like turn off the entire stream. All right. In 3, 2, 1, we'll see. Leave site. We'll see if it'll turn off the whole stream. I don't think it's never done that in the past before. So I usually stay on and I'm because I'm connected through my phone. So y'all will be able to see me even though my computer turns off and turns right back on. So it's restarting really quick so I can connect my iPad to it and then get the illustration going. So yeah, I think I like the setup. The lights are working now. Like they're hitting. But yeah, what else have I seen throughout the week? Because I have just been in here like working and watching videos, just watching any YouTube videos I can see online. One video I saw was there's one called Why Anime These Days is Slop by this creator called Brittany Venti. And that was like the second video I've seen of her, and it was all facts. Like I was just like, what? This is exactly what I've been saying. And her examples were the old Inuyasha versus this new show by the same creator called Mao, and how it's just so different, written differently, and there's just not as much sauce as what the old anime had. And that's just what the same thing I've been saying about like Kenshin and whatnot. And it reminded me like this is exactly why I create comics in the first place, is so I can create that feeling of sauce, like that feeling of entertainment that those old shows had for me growing up. Oh yeah, okay, so it's restarted, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to connect. Connect the iPad and get the illustration going. Okay, so we got that, and we got that. Let's see if that'll start up for us. Hey, we got it. All right. So it's got our phone on there. Can I show some pages from number 3? I think I can show a few pages. For number 3, I was like, it was really hard to do the first few pages. Or at least color the first few pages, because it was like I've never drawn a foggy situation. So whenever I come into a new lighting situation that I've never drawn before, it's just that much harder to actually execute on it. So let me see what I can show. I'll start with, I guess, the first 3 pages of chapter 3, but I won't show the last. The last page is going to be kind of a surprise. It's going to be for fun. Okay, let me enter Studio here on the MacBook. And let me see. Oh, this guy, Ant Star X. What's up? I don't think I've seen your name before. He says, any plans for a Discord server? Not in the near future. It might have to be for like as a Patreon exclusive, but I'm in a Discord server right now with a bunch of creators that live in my area in Austin, Texas, and I mostly cannot even I don't even have the time to engage with them as much as I want to. And they're like peers. They're like right where I live, and I can't even like be present in the Discord server because 99% of the time is drawing. The other 99% is making videos, and there's almost no in between. So yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. Extreme says the 2 lamps are a cool vibe. Appreciate it, man. Okay, so let me go ahead and present. I think we are good here. Share screen. Oh, I should have talked about my book. I just got a book in that I really like, and let me share entire screen first. What the hell? Oh, let me make that bigger, and we'll share the entire screen. So maybe I'll share the book later in the stream, but for now we'll share the pages I got. Okay, I'm gonna minimize myself as much as I can. Ictus says, show us the pages, give us 5 pages and a pitch for what to expect for issue 3. It kind of builds off of issue 2, so it'd be kind of a cold pitch, but we'll see. Let's see what we got here. All right. Boom. There we go. You can kind of see what's in. There we go. So you can't see that. So yeah, this is page 1 of issue 3. It's not fully done yet. I still have to make some adjustments because the rest of the pages are done, but this is page number 1 of issue 3. And in issue 3, I can't even, that's a spoiler too. I can't even say what goes on really in issue 3. I would just have to say, what can I say about issue 3? There's like they go to a graveyard and some stuff happens. So yeah, that's what I can say about issue 3. And it further kind of develops the growing divide between the main character Vivi and her best friend Chelsea there, because Vivi, it's following the story of like Vivi sort of going down this dark path and the strain it puts on her friendship with Chelsea here. So that's page 2 and up to page 3. I swear to God, I rendered more of page 3, but somehow something got erased along the way, so I'm gonna have to come back to that. But yeah, this is what the setup for page 3 is, and then I'll go to like the last few pages. Okay, let's see how I can do that. I'm gonna go back to this screen first, and then I'm gonna share the screen. Let me see, where can I go? Okay, and then I'll share like a few of the last pages of issue 3. Okay. Can y'all see this? That's not how I want to be displayed. I want to make it small. Yeah, as small as possible. Okay. Yeah, everybody in here can see. Okay, yeah, this is issue 3 page. I don't even know what page this is. But yeah, there's some little stuff here and there, you know what I mean? Like just a little bit of stuff here and there. And then the powers that she like sends out is going to these graves. And then what I'm gonna put in the sound effects is like a rumbling type thing. So I'm gonna have sound effects going throughout these images, and you know, have that going there in the back. And this is where I'll stop. So she gets some like shocking news, and then it just kind of reverberates through her system. And yeah, so that is number 3. I started finally getting the hang of this forest stuff at the end of issue 3. So like I got the forest down, and I got the fog down. It helped really like draw this a lot better, where I found the brushes for trees in Clip Studio, and I realized like most panels you don't have to go all out on. Like if I were, the way they teach us to draw in the Kubert school is to draw everything maximum. Like you have to draw, I would be drawing every single blade of grass on this drawing on paper with ink and tools and all that stuff, every single blade with my hands. And I'd have to draw every single tree, every single grave with a ruler and ink and all that stuff. And then I'd have to do the fog effects in like with whiteout or something. And with webcomics, you just can't afford to do that. With manga, you can't afford to do that. You either pass it off to your assistants, or you just got to suck it up and find the quick, easy way to do it. And as long as you can get convincing results, you don't need to have perfect results. Convincing is more important than perfect. So that's why I got it to a level where I'm happy with, and to where the reader can just read it and be like, oh, I know what's happening, and I can move on to the next page. So yeah, that's kind of how it is. And then with this, I was just like, man, more than this, I like this panel where I kind of have this, I don't know, it's not a Pokemon, but it's like, you know, like it's just like this spirit thing. I feel like I got that effect down. And in my notes with my editor, she was just like, you want to make sure this panel is really emphasized when you're drawing this page, so it's not just a quick flash by and then that's it. You want to emphasize it and make it good. So yeah, that's what I did there. And then of course the bottom panel, which, you know, one of the things that they encourage in Japanese manga is like to they encourage that you put in the stuff that you like fetishistically, you know, like they encourage you to put that type of stuff in, because anything that will motivate you to draw the manga more is a good thing. So like it's plain and simple on what do you call it, Chainsaw Man. You can easily see what the author is into on Chainsaw Man. And yeah, like that stuff is present in my own work as well. So yeah, so this is final few pages of chapter 3, and it's not fully that's not the end of it, but I can't show you any more than this, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go over to the drawing now, but let me switch screens so it's not obvious, and let me check out the comments to see what's up. Master Panda says, I agree 100%. The best thing about being a creator yourself is that you don't have to sit on the sidelines waiting for your favorite entertainment to get better. You can create what you want to see. Yeah, exactly. That's one of those things that I recently was thinking about. I was like, man, there's so many things that are almost like what I want to see or kind of like what I want to see, but they're not, they just don't have the same spirit. And I end up having to just go back to the old stuff that I liked in the past to really get that fix. And then it's like I realize now is like, well, almost nothing is going to be made exactly how I like. So I'm just going to have to make it myself, like make my own thing that I'm hyper fixated on. Because I'd have shows like Slayers or Kenshin or Gurren Lagann that I'd be like really into at the time, or like One Piece, and I would just it would just be a constant subject in my mind for years and years. So yeah, I just realized now it's like I'm gonna have to make the stuff that I want. But let me check out the comments here. Vince V said, how can I read your chapter 1 comic? I signed up but didn't get a notification. It should be in your spam folder or maybe in promotions if you check if you use like Google like Gmail. But I would always check your spam folder just in case you didn't see it in like the main thing. And if all else fails, I can always just add you in manually for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna read and work. So while I see your, let me see. Victor says, you said I doxed myself? Did I dox myself? How can I read chapter 1? Oh, okay. Louis says, feet tutorial when? I don't even know how to draw feet, to be honest. Like, I just kind of wing it every time. Or just put really big ass shoes on people. Let's see. Victor says, damn, page 1 looks so atmospheric. Appreciate it, man. Dude, those desaturated colors. Heck yeah, appreciate it. What made you decide those names for your characters? They just look like that. They look like their names. So when I created Vivi, or when I came up with her name, in her head she sort of looked like this, but I didn't have her full look 100% down. So I was just like, she's probably a Vivian or something like that. Yeah, Vivian. And that's probably based on like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or something like that. Black girls in the past for me have always been named Vivian for some reason. So I was like, okay, Vivian, Vivi, that works. And what works with that? Probably Chelsea, some girl with red hair. And that probably stems from what do you call it? That's So Raven. Like her name wasn't come up with because of That's So Raven, but it just happened to be like, that works. So yeah, her name will be Chelsea. And yeah, it just Vivi and Chelsea kind of just rolls off the tongue to me. Let's see. Vince V says desaturation up until the paranormal stuff is genius. Great contrast. Hey, appreciate it, man. Master Panda says, man, that looks so good. Villain, that villain chef kiss. Appreciate it. Ichthus says the sequence looks great. Appreciate it. Vince B, I wonder if some light film grain would be a head nod to horror film fans. I've thought about putting in some type of texture on the pages, but that would be like a final stage. And I'm wondering, like, if I do that for one chapter, how many chapters would I have to do that for? Like the rest of them, or just for the chapter proper? It would have to be something I'd talk over with my editors, actually. Let's see. Naru says, what is your inspiration for Saintly? My inspiration for Saintly. What is my inspiration for Saintly? Because I made it back in maybe 2019, and it wasn't really let me just start coloring this thing now. It wasn't really I have to erase that line. It wasn't really a supernatural story back then. It was more like that was just a side thing about it. It wasn't really the main focus. But then when I made it supernatural in school, I was only doing that because I realized like most American comics have some type of high concept to them that makes them stand out, that makes them a little bit more interesting than just a base level concept. And that's when Saintly, as it was, like became involved with like demons and spiritual and supernatural stuff, because I was going off the example of like Scott Pilgrim and how it's not just about a 20 something year old guy just going about his life. There's all these fights and like it's not just a rom-com. There's all these like fights and like, you know, like guitar stuff and you know, video game graphics that go along with it that make it more interesting to the eye. So that's kind of what inspired Saintly as it is. And then when I got notes back on the first actual chapter of Saintly that has nothing to do with what it is right now, people said it sounded like Daria, and I took that as a compliment because it was I like the way it was written, but it doesn't start the story in a supernatural way at all. So you would never even like know that it has anything to do with something supernatural until chapter 3 or something like that. So just learning about how to write a genre helped me to rewrite Saintly to be something better than what I originally had. So that is the situation with that. I'm trying to find where this line is. Nope. Move. Nope. Move. Dang it. I couldn't find it. Okay. Master Panda says, but real talk, no reader is going to call you out for not rendering every blade of grass. Plus, your comment will get done faster. Plus, it looks great without it. You're getting it done and it looks great. Hey, appreciate it, man. Solid and Brian. Oh, we live? Whoa, nice pages. Hey, appreciate it, man. Love those vibrant colors. I put all my kinks in my comics. Good. Nice. There we go. Let's see. Master Panda says it also helps that the Japanese don't cry about every little thing like cleavage or a slit in a skirt. That's too revealing, like the Crybaby West. Yeah, it'd be like that. Nick Stream says, is it bondage? No, it's definitely not that. But I do like what's it called? Empowered, which is the main fetish of that is bondage. Even though that's not my thing in particular. Vince V says, yep, the spam folder, found it. Nice. Chaz Bradner, what's up? Appreciate you coming out to the show, dude. Have you ever thought about creating your own trailer for the comic? Something I thought for my work, and I think it would be cool for Saintly. Yeah, 100%. I would want to animate like parts of it, like here and there, because I do know how to animate. It just I would have to dust off those skills, and it would take a while to do something good, especially with Vivi's hair, because her hair is like curly and all that. But yeah, I would probably do something along the lines of what I have with Air Rider, the trailer that I did for the Kickstarter. But for now, all I have for Saintly is the pages that I'm making, and that's pretty much it. Naru says, I was thinking Bleach. Oh, the inspiration for Saintly. Okay. So yeah, what do I even want to do next on this thing? touch up these shadows up here in the background. I've been coloring all day for the last page of issue 3 of Saintly, and at this point it's almost like, what's the word, I would call it like muscle memory. Like once I get all the flats in the right place, I just kind of go based on muscle memory, like rendering things that way. But I do want to like level up my skills at some point. I want to level up my painting and all my like base skills. But I don't think I've even maximized like my current level. And what I think about when I mean by like maximizing my current level is like, I swear to God, I charged this thing. I charged it. Okay, eventually it's gonna crap out, but until that point, we'll just keep painting. But what I mean by like maximizing my level for where I am right now is like using my full mind and all the skills that I know of to draw something. Because I learned when I was younger, I learned basically almost every principle that has to do with coloring in terms of like hue, value, saturation. Those are the dimensions of color. And then how to mix, how to paint on paper, how to paint with oils, how to paint with watercolors especially. And watercolors, I only got really good at those because I couldn't afford Copic markers, so watercolors was the only thing I could use. And that's what I found out years later. Like that's what Akira Toriyama was using as well. And I didn't feel so bad afterward because Copics were expensive, like $6 per cope. So like for a set of watercolors, it's like $2 at Walmart or something, and you could just use that and paint with that. So I was just like, all right, bet I'll use that. And I got really good with it because I didn't have any other choice. I didn't have a tablet. I didn't have any stuff to really use it with. So I just got good at coloring with color pencils and watercolors and all that. I left the crayons at home though. Let me see. Dragon Masters 525. Hey, what's up? It says, yo, what up, big dog? I've been following your channel since the coffee comic stuff. Your growth, hella love to see, or you're growing, hella love to see your growth. Hey, appreciate it, man. El May says, I don't blame you. They are super expensive. Oh yeah, 100%. Also, before my house got hit by a lightning bolt and before my entire rig got fried, I was starting an insane comic. Damn, that is insane. Your house actually get hit by a lightning bolt? That's crazy. I hope it tanked the bolt or something. Jeez. Master Panda says, actually, I actually listened to your interview on Coffee's channel where you were talking about how you did that art contest as a kid just to try to win those markers. Yeah, dude. And I don't think they were even Copics. I think they were just Prismacolors. And I still wanted them really bad. And those were like the white manga contest, like that he was holding like early on. And I was drawing his characters more than I was drawing my own characters because I just was like, man, I want to win. And I think probably that's where my competition mindset really kicked in, because I was just like, oh, if I want markers, then I just have to win these contests, and that's how I get stuff. Or if I want to get into the manga industry, I just have to win these contests, and that's how it works. But yeah, there was those contests, and then there was the cartoon block. There's this guy named Evan Burse who works in cartoons, and he used to be on YouTube just drawing like, I don't know, Batman or Ben 10 or whatever character, and he'd just be showing people how to draw and holding his own contest, and it was really really dope. I try to enter those ones as well. But yeah, those were the days, man. I was like maybe in middle school, high school, just getting onto the art scene. And that's when I started my YouTube channel as well. Because to enter those contests, you had to have a channel. So I was just like, dang, I guess I need to get on the internet now. But I was already on DeviantArt at that point, so I would post to DeviantArt back when it was like, and it probably still is like a good website for beginners, where you don't have to face the scrutiny of the entire internet on Instagram and all this contest and competition around there. But yeah, Vince V says, I got the 10-page Class A comic from the Saintly link. Super cool. Reading Saintly now. Oh yeah, the Class A. Class A was a 10-page like a 10-page comic that I did after like being homeless for a while, and it was like the first thing I drew coming back from that experience, just to get myself back into drawing. And I planned it to be like this huge long story thing, but it ended up just being like a little short horror comic. And then I showed it to like Nick Patera at a Comic-Con in Pflugerville, Texas. It was just a little small what do you call it? Library Comic-Con. But I showed it to him, and he took notice of me, and then from there I was able to make him my mentor after showing him that 10-page Class A comic. It was just a short little thing, but it got me like basically a foot in the door, because I showed that I could finish something. And I think in comics, like, finishing anything is so difficult that when you show somebody that you actually have follow through and that you can finish something, they're just like, dang, get this guy a contract out immediately. You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna get you money all like right off the bat, but when people can see like, oh, this person is serious enough to finish a sequential story that has panels and pages in order and then end the story, then this person is serious enough to take comics seriously. So that's kind of what got me started with Nick. And I just another thing was like, any advice he gave me, I would take it seriously and just follow through with it. Because most of the people that he had given advice to would just kind of mess around, not really follow it, just take it lackadaisically. But I was taking it as serious as if I had my own like anime sensei or whatever. And I was just like, oh yeah, of course, yeah, I'll do that. And he would show me a new trick, I would just do the trick, or just like figure out how to do it. I had many studies that I posted on DeviantArt of the assignments that he would give me to learn how to draw. And one of the most important assignments was taking a figure and drawing it in 3 dimensions, or drawing it from 3 different angles, as if it was a toy model that you're going to put out there. Let me go to the ink layer, and he had me do that, and then afterward he had me do, sheesh, okay, can y'all see? Okay, afterward he had me do, there we go. Nice. Afterward, he had me do a figure from my imagination in 3 different views, exactly like you would do the 3D figure that you could actually hold in your hand. He wanted me to do that with a character from imagination and draw them and project them exactly as you would see them in 3 different views. And that was really tough because it was like, dang, you have to think in a 3 dimension, like you have to think in 3 dimensions without a reference, and then project it as if it was a real object in 3 different ways. And I just did it. Anything assignment wise he asked for, I would just do it. And just showing follow through in comics will get you really far. Like, it'll get you much further than saying stuff. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can say, like, I'm gonna be the best comic artist in the world. Anybody can say that. But if you actually show follow through and do something about it, then people will take you seriously for sure. Okay, so we got the reflected light we can start putting on. Noxudi, hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming on. I haven't seen you in a while as well. Let's see. Dragon Master says, yeah, bad thunderstorm and the bolt hit the power, traveled through the cables, melted the modem and router, and our computers were daisy chaining. So the lightning bolt traveled through the wires. Damn, that sucks. Vince V says, yeah, it shows you got the power. Now you got the Infinity Stones with Saintly. Hey, appreciate it, man. Master Panda says, to me, if you finish even a single comic, especially while working a job, is hella dedication. Yup, 100%. Dragon Master says, not gonna lie, I quit my job just to pursue art and other genres. I never felt so free. Yeah, that's how it starts, man. But once it comes to like making money, if you have money, then you should be fine. But that's the only issue I've ever run into when, like, after quitting a job or whatever. But there's tons of options for like app and gig work that can help you through times when you need a quick buck. But yeah, Scabies, hey, what's up? What would you say is one of the hardest assignments he gave you? Oh yeah, this is what I just described, the drawing the figure in 3 dimensions. I'm wondering if I could show you. Let me pull it up. I think I have the DemonR app. Yeah, I do. Okay. Skip. I guess I have to log in. Let me see if there's any other comments. Log into my DeviantArt account. Here we go. Next. All right, let's see if that'll work. What the hell? Did it let me in? Okay, cool. All right, let me pull it up. Okay. I think you guys can see it. You guys can see my screen. Okay. So where is... I drew some mature content. What the hell? It's got to be one of the earlier ones. Yeah, it's going to be earlier on. Let's see. Dang, that's one of the only fan arts. Well, not one of the only ones, but yeah. I did this one a long time ago. Outlaw Star fan art. And these were some characters I just did randomly. When did I meet Nick? It was probably after these pieces. Yeah, it was after these, so it's probably up here. Okay, here goes. So, yeah, I drew this. He gave me a Ultimate Muscle or a Muscle Man figure, and he just had me draw the figure in 3 different poses, or in 3 different views. So I drew it from the 3/4 view, I drew it from the front and from the back, just exactly as I saw it. And all these lines are just so that I keep the proportions and the like the height and the width all the same, so that it all like fits on the page and it doesn't contradict itself. So I was drawing like a fully realized like figure without cheating. You know what I mean? Like in art you can cheat and you can draw a character a different way many times over, but when you're doing something like this, you have to draw it correctly. So then the second assignment, which was taking this character, I already drew her at a different point in time, and I had to basically draw her in 3D. And she has the type of like, you know, kind of cartoon hair where the, you know, this thing on the back of her head doesn't really have to follow exact logic, but I was really trying to follow the exact logic for her skirt. So because there's so many different like lines in it, and those types of things are hard to draw because it's like the folds go to different places and it makes it like super hard to like keep track of. But yeah, I was proud of this one because I felt like I got the legs right and the socks, and I kept the skirt correct and all that stuff. So yeah, and this was just all from my mind. So I had to draw the first figure correctly, then project all the rest, and that helped me to draw them just right. So that was like the first 2 training assignments I had with Nick, and I think the final one was this Batman page that I did that he gave me some critique on. Yeah, so he had me design my own penguin, and then there's this other character that's another penguin themed character that was working with him. I forget what his name, like Emperor Penguin or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, he had me draw a full page using the character designs, and I drew every single dollar bill in this briefcase. Like these days I would just slap a texture on it, a dollar texture on it, and call it a day, you know what I mean? But like when you're just starting out, you want to be drawing every single thing so that you just know how to draw it, you know what I mean? Like that you know what's right in your mind before you start taking shortcuts. Like if you know how to draw certain things before you take shortcuts, then you can take the shortcuts with actual accuracy. So this is what I'm talking about, like how you can't do this in webcomics because it takes too much time. If I were to do it this way, I'd have to have a colorist, I'd have to have other people, creating the thing. Like with Invincible, like with the way Ryan Otley drew it, he could only draw the pencils every single month, 20 pages of pencils every single month. And then other people would come in, I think their names like Bill Crabtree, to do the inks. And then you'd have like FCO Placencia on the colors, or maybe you'd have John Rauch. And they would do the colors and make it look really nice. And Russ Wooten would do the lettering. But you can't make Invincible on a monthly schedule in the way that they were doing it by yourself. It would take you maybe 3 months to put out something on the level of Invincible consistently. And this page itself, I don't know how long it even took, but it took a while. Like, I was trying to make sure I got everything right, like the little folds in his suit there, drawing all the dollar bills. And even then, Nick was like, hey, his belly is out too far, and now you can't fix it. So it's like, damn. Like, even then I was just like, well, fuck. But then I drew this like staircase, I drew this couch, I drew this what do you call it, candle holder, and I made sure the candle holder was still there. And like, you have to make sure these things, like I made sure the couch was still there and all these things were in the right place. He's got a coffee cup and a folder, a file here. Make sure that the coffee in the file is still there. And then I have Penguin's face, like, you know, his nose is casting a shadow. Cast shadows are darker than form shadows in most situations. So that's why I drew it that way. And I didn't quite know how to draw an umbrella or how to do the inks on that. So it was just kind of awkward. And there's a sound effect here, but it's not well placed. It's just kind of there. And, you know, there's a knife that comes out right here at the very tip. But these days, if I were to draw that again, I would make that super clear, like 100% clear that there's a knife coming out, because it's too hard to see the way it is right now. So yeah, but I drew the hell out of this one page and made sure it was good. So that was the other assignment that Nick gave me. And yeah, I would just show him the work I was doing, show him the pages, and get his feedback and all that. But he had other students that he was trying to teach. They just weren't serious. Like, they just didn't come back, or they would only half do the assignments. They weren't really, they were still in school, or they were doing this or that. They just weren't that serious. So yeah, I was lucky, but at the same time dedicated. So that's kind of how that worked. Let's see. Cyburn says, never heard sheesh said out loud. Naru says, I don't want to be the best, I just want to create and inspire others. That's a good goal to have, man. Jom says, hello, hey, what's up? I know it's been a little while because I was talking about the pages, but what's up, Jom? Dragon Master says, that's some good advice. I tend to pump out full rendered comics a lot and make out about 4 a month traditional. I just started doing digital for sequential art. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Massive Panda says, facts, almost everybody. Let me see. Almost everybody has a cool idea, but absolutely nobody cares until it's manifested into actual comic that someone can read. Ideas are a dime a dozen until there's actual proof of concept. Yeah. I've had a few buddies in the past who would talk endlessly about this great idea that they have, and they've written out like so many stories, and it's going to be 31 volumes, and that's on the conservative estimate. And it's about this great character who has all these powers, like every single power in the world, but his only weakness is that he hates women. And no, I'm not even kidding. That was one of the that was one of the characters that some guy was telling me about, and I was just like, oh, all right, well, cool, man. And I was just like, I haven't seen anything from that creator. I haven't seen anything of his work. Like, he hasn't produced anything, so it has yet to be seen if it was all talk or not, because I haven't seen anything of what he's produced, and it's been several years now. Dragon Master says, my issue is finding a publisher. I've been doing self-publishing. Yeah, don't worry about finding a publisher at first. Like, only thing publishers really care about at the beginning of your career is seeing that you can either finish your own work or work as part of a team. If you can work as part of a team and you can finish and hit deadlines, they'll hire you for other people's books, not necessarily to do your own, but yeah, you'll be in there if you can work with a team or if you can hit deadlines and work fast. Okay, let me see. Noxudi says, hi. I've been away for a while, and honestly, for some reason, it's like I've been having these weird inconsistencies, like somehow draw one good thing and then start to choke, especially on hands. Oh yeah, hands are really, really difficult. Drum says, you did say you like the gun from Outlaw Star. Oh yeah, the Outlaw Star gun is so cool. It's like, it shoots magic. That's the coolest thing about it. It's, what was it called? A caster. It's called a caster gun. The bullets you put into it is what magic shoots out. And I'm like, damn, that's a cool idea. And it's sad that the anime is like, I wouldn't call it short. It's basically a normal 2-core anime, kind of like you would have with what do you call it? Cowboy Bebop. But it's just such a cool idea for a gun. I wish it was in a longer series as well. Comic Ken, do you still keep up with the old man you attended Joe Kubert School? With the old man you attended Joe Kubert School. Although I find some older folks are still chasing what they love most. Which old man? There was a few of them. One of them was a guy who was a smoker who was a veteran. But we didn't keep in touch. There was another guy who was like 50 years old, and the last time we talked was like maybe a couple of years ago, and that was definitely after the Kubert School, and he was just giving me some updates on the school, or like his final year in the school, because he skipped a year to get away from all the students who were hating on him. And I was just like, man, yeah, those guys were like annoying. But yeah, and then he came back the following year to finish off his schooling. So that was the only guy. Let me see. Dragon Masters, says, I tend to sell all my art through events like Zine Fest and commissions on the side. That's how I get by. Okay. Events like Zine Fest and commissions. Okay, yeah, nice. I'm trying to get into commissions as well, but nobody wants to commission me. I'm gonna just be here and keep my drawings to myself. Outlaw Star was awesome, but I haven't seen probably 15 or 20 years or something like that. Dang, I need to go back and rewatch it because that whole era of anime is incredible. Yeah, it's really, really great. Mort Mole, hey, what's up? Appreciate you coming out. Yeah, I remember watching Outlaw Star maybe when the Toonami revival came around, and they were playing it like nightly, and this might have been before the Kubert School, but that's when I got into it and I really, really enjoyed it. Mortmole says, is this one of your characters? Yep, both of them are my characters from my webcomic called Saintly. Vince V says, drawing in all those angles consistently is tough. Nice work. Hey, appreciate it. Scabby says, not be real you, but not be real you, but what was the hardest background you made? The hardest background I ever made? I can't even think about it. It might have been my attempt to try to do a cityscape at some point during the Cubert school. Yeah, I remember now. It was like this. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna pull it up really quick. It was this like cityscape with dinosaurs that we had to draw for the Cubert school, and it was one of the more like extensive assignments we had to do, and I was all for it because I'd never drawn like a true cityscape before. And let me pull it up really quick just to show y'all what that was. I had to get lots of reference for it, figure out the exact city I was in, and let me see. Albums. Where's the Cubert school? There we go. And this will show like a bunch of my Cubert school assignments. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to find the which one was it? The dinosaur one. It's down here somewhere. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. So it's a little blurry right now, but it'll kick in a second. Okay, there we go. Nice. Yeah, so this was the hardest background we had to do. Like it took like 2 weeks, but it wasn't because this type of drawing would take 2 weeks. It was just we had so many other assignments going along with it. So this is the kind of thing that we would do in the Cubert school. Like you had to draw every single thing. I drew all these like weeds on the side of the building, or like these vines. I would just slap a what was it called, a Clip Studio brush to do that nowadays. But we had to draw every aspect of it. I drew these like building designs. I referenced what the buildings look like, and I referenced the dinosaurs. I just put Spider-Man in the back for no reason, like he's just there. I didn't reference the explosion too much, but yeah. And we had to plan out where the black and the white was going to go before we put it down on the page. I had to project all the figures to make sure they were all in perspective and not cheating. Dang, I killed this guy. He's just trapped under that car underneath that dinosaur's foot. And somebody was in there, dang. Okay, yeah. I killed a few people in this piece. And this woman's arm is in his mouth. So... yep, that was the hardest one. So we had to draw 2 things I haven't really drawn before, and that's what made that difficult. But it was fun because it was a good challenge. All right, let me go back here. Master Panda says that Penguin is fire. DC needs to put you on Batman and pay you actual money, not Monopoly money or IOUs or whatever the mainstream is paying you now. Yeah. Let me see. Dale A, hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming out to the show. Says, is that the Penguin? That must have been from a little while ago. Yeah, that was the Penguin. It was a drawing that I did for an assignment with Nick Patera. Adding detail in the money was worth it. Ramps up the whoa factor. Hey, appreciate it, dude. McLeod says, how much does digital colorist charge per page currently? Per page? It really depends on the project. 60 is probably the average, closer to the lower end, and then 80 is probably up to the higher end, and then 100 to 120 if you're really like doing a big major book. But then if you're getting paid like 100, or even if you're getting paid 80 or 60, that if you want to have a flatter, somebody who does the flat colors on your work, that comes out of your pay, and everything that you do as a colorist is a flat rate. So you just get paid for coloring the book, but you don't get any, like, let's say, equity in the work. You don't get any like royalties or anything like that. It's just flat rate work, and that's just how it goes. It's the creator and the primary artist, which is like the penciler or the penciler / inker, that gets the royalties and stuff like that. And I don't mean the inker separately. I mean the if the penciler also inks over their own work, which Nick Patera, he inks over his own work. Because you get paid more that way. You don't have to pay a separate inker to do your work. Let's see. JOM says, one word about this WIP, phenomenal. Hey, appreciate it, man. Vince V says, to be fair, ideas are part of intention, and art relies heavily on intention to be perceived as good. Yeah, if you can put work towards the primary intention that you have, then it'll shine through the work, but the work has to be there in order for people to see it. Noxudi says, I really like the vibes here. It's really great hearing all your stories and experiences. Hey, appreciate it, man. Yeah, I don't really talk about them too often, to be honest. Sideburns, you adding effects to the water effects to the illustration? Yeah, 100%. Having the skills puts you in the game. Getting the opportunity gets your foot in the door. The rest is up to you. Build your body of work, make contact, sky's the limit. Oh yeah, 100%. Naru says, I post my drawings on my channel. Nice. Zines are the small self-published books. Cool retro stuff. Yep. Silence Draws, hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming out to the show, dude. Silence says, I watched that Ink Pulp video. Hearing Armand talk about school reminded me of my classmates at my college. Armand? Oh, you mean Anand? Oh, you said Arnand. Okay, because we did have a student named Armand. He was in my year, but he was in a different class. But Anand, yeah, I know what you're talking about. He was probably in the last year. Like, he was in his third year as I was entering my first year. So we didn't really cross paths too much. But I had heard of him because he was really good. And I was always listening out for like really good artists when I was going there. Master Panda says, the drawing is fire. These dinos need to be framed. Gives me Jumanji Stampede vibes, but with dinos, the OG Jumanji, not that new crap. That's funny. Okay. All right. Okay, so where are we even like going here? I have the reflected light, and then I have this. So I kind of want to do something reflected, but would that go underwater as well? I don't know. We'll try out the effect. Like, at this point, I'm just trying stuff to see if it'll work. It's kind of okay, but not really. If I were to take it, use the lasso tool and just lower the luminosity. Oh, what does that look like? No, not quite. What if it was another shadow? What if I change the... Okay, y'all can see what I'm doing. Good. I like the shadow element. I don't mind it. Let me see. And then if I take a blender to it, blend it out. Let's see how that would look. Oh, you know what? I need to have my what do you call it? VizRef. And then we'll have this up here. And then okay, I'm gonna do slide over and then boom. I'm gonna hit save. Yeah, that shadow is pretty accurate, so we'll keep it. Keep it as is. Okay, that's coming from the shadow layer though. Let's see. DrawStream, hey, what's up? Says, how many people does it take to make a 52 chapter season Korean webtoon? Okay, I think I did the math on this a little bit. And 52 chapters, let's just think about how much one chapter is. I counted actually the amount of panels in both chapter 2 and 3, which is 20 pages of issue of Saintly, and both of them have about 130 something panels in both of them. And so what they do for a weekly webtoon is 60 panels. And so if you're doing 60 panels, that's at least and that's per week. So they're doing 60 panels, which is 10 pages of content every week with a whole team. That means 40 pages of panels per month, which would come out to about 260 panels per month. Because I don't know if I mentioned this just now, but my chapters came out to 131 panels each for among 20 pages of doing like the comic. I counted them. And so for webtoons, they're doing at least 2 comic chapters per month worth of material. And if they have a whole team, I'm guessing that they have as many as it takes to do like a regular comic in the States. But I think they divide the work up a little bit differently. Like maybe there will be somebody on backgrounds, and there will be somebody who's like the primary character artist. And then maybe there's somebody who does the colors, and then maybe somebody who assists with the colors. And then maybe somebody does the lettering separately. So it could be anywhere from 4 to 6 people working on any given story, doing the stuff like week to week. But they're doing 2 full comic issues per month worth of material. It just happens to be in panel format. But the way webtoons works, the way it goes is like you can really reuse a lot of panels, and most of them are easy to do because they use so many like background assets and stuff like that. To me, just being honest, like a lot of webtoons can tend to look cheap because of the background assets that they use all the time. because you'll just see the same asset being used in 10 different other series, and with no real change or you know, no real updates made to them. They don't use them artfully, they'll just kind of slap them on there. But not all webtoons look that cheap. Like Solo Leveling actually looks amazing. Like if you go to the comic and read the comic, it looks better than the anime sometimes. Actually, most of the time it looks better than the anime. You'd think it's like an anime on the page, but it's definitely not. Okay, so my what's it called? Apple Pen ran out of battery, and I even plugged it in before starting the show. So I'm just gonna switch over to my main screen and check out the comments here. Let me see. Oh, so how to make a 52 chapter season Korean webtoon? 52 chapters. If 52 chapters has 60 panels in each, and they do that would be a full year's worth of webtoons. 52 weeks times 20. Where's my calculator? 52 weeks times 20. What, times 60 panels in each. That would be like 300. 330. How many people? Oh, you were just saying how many people. Yeah, it would be like 4 to 6. Silence Draws. Going to my first con to sell some prints and do live commissions. Any advice? Not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited. First con to sell some prints and do live commissions. Any advice? It's really something you can find out by going to the con. Like every con is different, but for the most part, if you have the prints on the table and you make your commission thing, what's the word? Visible, where people know that they can commission you, and you have your work visible, then that's like a good place to be in, where people can see like, okay, this is what we get if we commission, and you can, as long as you have your payment processor ready, you want to make it as frictionless as possible to have somebody pay you to either make a commission or sell a print. I use Square, and I just use it on my iPhone. Like I just use it on my phone, where people can just input their credit card, and it's easy. It's easy to take payments like that, or take cash or whatever. But yeah, other than that, I would just say have fun. The whole show won't be super busy to where you can't visit people and hang out. So yeah, just enjoy it, and check out your favorite artists, and guard your money, because it's not that people want to steal it, is that you're gonna see so much art and stuff that you want to buy, and it's all gonna be like $100 to to buy every piece that you want to get. So that's the only thing I would watch out for. Vince V says maybe a subtle Fresnel around the edges. I don't know what Fresnel is. Silver says, hey Silver, what's up? Says, I didn't know Vivi was thick like that. She is like that in the hips, just not in the chest. So I noticed that was the reason that the manga panel count went down from a higher previously. Huh. Nick Stream says, "Oh God, Comic Man." Master Panda says, "Man, you ain't lying. No disrespect to the 3D asset stuff, but more often than not, it just doesn't mesh with the style of the characters. Yeah, sometimes it'll be like that." Vince V says, "I have an apple. I have a pen. Pineapple pen. What the?" Mort Mole says, "What do you think of the comic artist of Black Sad? Man does his entire comic with traditional watercolors. It's crazy." Yeah, he's a legend. Even when his stuff was originally coming out, he's a legend. And I have like maybe 2 of his books in my shelf back there. And like seeing his stuff for the first time on, what was it, Tumblr? Yeah, it was Tumblr back then. That was the first time I ever saw Black Sad. And I was just like, this cat looks like Disney, but it also looks like watercolor. What is this? Like, and there's blood and there's guns, and this is different. Like, it looks like Disney, but it's not. It's like hardcore, but no, the word is hard boiled. It's like a detective type thing. And it was just really interesting to see. The thing about European comics is that they are 100% about craft, and it's more that it takes as long as it takes. You know what I mean? And that actually is a good segue into the book that I have that I just recently got in the mail. It's called Freak Squeal. Is one of my favorite French made comics ever. And reading it now, it still holds up to how I first read it in the past. And I didn't know it was in traditional. I didn't know it was in black and white. When I got it, there's a section that is in color. It's this like sort of bathhouse segment that's at the end of it. But yeah, I didn't know the original was in black and white because it's so rendered in black and white that it makes you think it could easily go to color if it wanted to, but it just doesn't. Whereas manga will just leave the gray areas white for the most part, but this guy renders everything as if it was originally in color, and then they just switched it to black and white for some reason. But yeah, Freak Squeal is probably one of the best like French comics that I totally recommend. And I read it online in the past, but I never got the chance to really like have it in English in person until their past campaign, and you can still get a copy online if you want. So yeah, there's that, and there's this book, and I think it's written by a German guy and drawn by maybe a Spanish guy or an Italian guy. I don't know, but I think it's Alessandro Barbucci. And the art is spectacular in here. Like, it's spectacular. And I have a video with, kind of going through some of the book coming up. But it was just like, this is the kind of stuff that you can't really do in manga because it's so detailed. It's just too detailed to really pull off in manga. Like, you can't do this on a weekly basis. Like, fuck you. Like, you want me to pull off this on a weekly basis? The like, European comics are on a different level because they're so much about craft that they'll produce a book of this length in a year, and it's only like 50 some odd pages. Yeah, that they're called albums, and they're usually 50 pages, and it's because they're drawing 1 page per week, and that's just how it is because they draw the hell out of everything. They're not using any shortcut methods that I can tell. They're just drawing everything and coloring everything. So even in their coloring methods, they're coloring digitally. Everything is drawn out. Nobody is using like shortcuts. Maybe they have a studio, but usually it's just one artist and or one writer, and they're doing like top tier stuff that you're just not gonna find in American comics or in French comics. And that's why I always stress that you have to get your inspiration from so many like different sources, because like if you're only focused on manga or whatever, you're gonna completely miss out on stuff like Echo or stuff like Freak Squeal, because it's so different from what you'll find in manga or even American comics. And they can kind of they can hit a different part of your brain where you're just like, whoa, I didn't know things could look like this. And that's what the feeling of seeing Black Sad for the first time was like. It was just like, whoa, this is like high level stuff that I've never seen before. Canvas Engineer, hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming out to the show. Yeah. Silence Draw says, thanks, brother. Yeah, and yeah, I'm going to try to budget myself because I know I'm going to buy a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, yep. Like I'll make money and then I'll lose money just by spending on other people's things, and it's usually like friends and stuff. A good middle ground is to trade if you're, you know, not really selling, or if you're just not that interested in making money on that show. Canvas Engineer, I was studying some of his books. Great stuff. Nice. LMA said, I had read Black Sad in school. Impressive book. It looks like Disney because it was done by a former Disney artist. Yep. I saw the interview, well, not interview, but the retrospective by Matt with 4 T's. So yeah, that helped me get a lot of perspective on the Black Sad artist. What's his name? Juanjo Guarnido or something. Travis Sherris on Meta Barons is an example. I heard that book took him a really long time. Yeah, those guys that put like top tier effort, like I want to put top tier effort into Saintly. I want to put top tier effort into everything, but I can't realistically do that and still have a commercial career this early on. Like unless I have some sort of source of money that's allowing me the time to take my time and put a book out slowly. Like all these albums are around 50 something pages, and that's because they're taking a week to draw each page. And maybe, I mean, that's just how I see it, or what I'm thinking. That's a speculation. Don't take that as fact, don't quote me. But yeah, they're all that size, and they're all like high level of quality. Like they really respect comic artists in Europe. Like they really respect them, especially in France. The whole Franco-Belgium like European creators, there's a huge comic scene over there, and they're well respected, well regarded. They have statues of their like comic characters, and you know, like Tintin and Asterix and all them characters. So yeah, it's really big over there. Death Bringer 00, I think I've seen your name before, but what's up, man? Did you read Asterix and Obelix, Spiro, or Tintin? I have read none of them, but I have their books. I have a Spiro book. I have a whole bunch of Asterix books, and I have no Tintin because I didn't like Tintin's style. I didn't like the what they call clear line style, where it's just no there's no like sauce to the lines, where it's just like thin lines and it's just drawn that way. I watched the movie, but I didn't read the book, so I was just like, I don't really like the style, so I'll just leave it alone. But the Asterix style I really liked, and the Spiro style I really liked. Let me see if I can pull out a couple. Yeah, so my Spiro book is probably on the shelf somewhere, but I just don't see it. But yeah, I have like these Asterix books, and I just remember because I liked how high level the cartooning was in every book. Like it's just a masterclass in art, like in cartooning, in drawing. It reminds me of like Carl Barks with Scrooge McDuck. Like it just has a very strong cartoon style that really like it looks like an animation on the page without actually being an animation. Like it's insane. Um it's just top tier stuff. And actually this was the kind of stuff that Mobius at the time, if you know Mobius or John Giraud, he was actually trying to get away from this type of style and do more of his own thing, because to him, from what I've heard, the Asterix and styles like that represented more of an old guard that was more focused on cartooning rather than, like realism or more abstract stuff. So he was trying to get away from more of that. And then here's a couple of the Black Sad books I got. So I got this one and I got that one. And really, I don't read them, even though they're in English. But it's the type of... Oh, that one has a boob on it. It's the type of stuff I'll flip through because it's just that top tier. Like super high level cartooning, super high level colors, super high level everything. And bless me. This is like the thing about this type of stuff is that you don't arrive at this answer as your first stop. You know what I mean? Like this isn't the first thing you'll ever create. And like this is his masterwork, you know what I mean? Like we can see that this is something that is possible to do only because he created it. Like he actually put pen to paper, watercolor to paper, and turned it into something real. And so now that becomes like a new baseline that everybody's like, oh yeah, it's possible, you can do that stuff. But it's only possible to know you can do that stuff because he did it. You know what I mean? And like he basically took Disney style. Well, he didn't take Disney style. He worked for Disney, but he basically made it into this hardcore, hard-boiled thing. He mashed detective comics with like Disney style. Like, is that the KKK? What the? But yeah, like that's Black Sad, and it's an answer he arrived at like 30 years into his career. If you watch the Matt video, it took him a long time to find his footing as a comic creator. And once that first Black Sad book hit, like it was history after that. Like it just made so many sales and created such a buzz that he was able to build his career off of just doing that. And he could put out a book every year. He could put out a book every couple of years. And it took a long time for him to even get to that point. He was maybe late 40s, early 50s by the time Black Sad took off and he was able to, make a living in comics. So that's the thing, is like you have to just be uncommonly dedicated to the craft to the point where you're waiting till even your 50s to even like get a foothold or get your own idea out there. So yeah, that's also why I really admire Black Sad, especially after seeing that Matt video, because I didn't know that he was that old when he started putting out that work. And he was I thought in the past, I thought he was like maybe in his 30s or something, and it was just something he had the natural ability to do. But it was something he built over decades and years, trying to develop the skill to be able to do that, and find the economic placement for it, and find the right environment that would even accept the work. It took a long time, and a lot of people, especially like people like me who were chasing the manga dream, were trying. Let me see. We're thinking like, oh, cool, we'll just get into the manga industry, and have fame at a young age, and it will be easy, and like once we get in, we'll just work really hard, and that'll be that. But trying to make comics at all, if you're truly dedicated, will take you on a series of like winding paths that never lead in a straight line where you think where you think you want to go. It's just going to take you where it's going to take you, and you yourself have to fight for even a position to be able to do a fraction of what you want to do. Because you'll find that life just doesn't play out in the way that you think it will. You know what I mean? Like it won't like cater to your whims. And you just got to roll with it. You got to roll with the punches. Let me see. For some reason, it's not. My thing is charged up again, but I have to. Let me see. It's charged up, but I have to go to QuickTime Player to get it going again. Let me see. Yeah, it's not working. So I'm going to have to restart my computer once more. Let me see. But luckily my camera's still on and y'all can still hear me. And I'll just answer. I hit restart and just answer a bunch of comments until it comes back on. Colored comics are the baguette. Black and white comics are the biscuit. What the? That was by Vince V. Okay, let's say Leap Site. There we go. Canvas Engineer says that's about as long as my first comic took because I was painting each page. I love European comics. Oh yeah, they're great. Let's see. Mort Mole says European comics are on another level, man. Oh yeah. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on Black Sad. Oh yeah. Vince V says Europeans need something to read with their morning coffee or brunch. Me. Yeah. Noxudi says Tanran and Asterix, bro. So much nostalgia. Just wow. Yeah. Sight Burns says, oof, Linclair is cool. Yeah, I like when it's used in other styles, like maybe anime style, but not as much with Tintin in, like I thought. Canvas Engineer says, I know Albert Mielgo loved Tintin growing up, and when you see the way he arranges his comic panels, it shows through. I haven't really seen too many Alberto Mielgo comics, but I've seen his like animations, and he's like a visionary on another level. Like I don't know what he's smoking, man, but he's like top tier. I love his stuff ever since I saw it on like not Instagram. This was pre-Instagram. It was Tumblr, and I was looking at his animations like Pinkman. He did like this little Batman thing, and and eventually he found himself working in like Love, Death, and Robots. Did a little short for them, and then he basically designed the vision behind Spider-Man, like the Into the Spider-Verse. He was basically the visionary behind that. And I just seen his like development just behind the scenes, like for years, like from his blog to Tumblr to all the positions he's got in different places over the years. But I haven't seen his comics. That's really cool. Vince V says, oh, my computer's back on. Even the Asterix game on the GBA, Game Boy Advance, is a masterclass. Full 3D. Oh, wow, that's cool. Let's see. Massive Panda says, Black Side is some of the most beautiful artwork I've ever seen, but I've never read any of it. I really want to. Yeah, I haven't read any of it either. I just flipped through it. I was just like, man, this is great. The polar bear story was crazy. Didn't expect that twist. Yeah, I didn't read that. Canvas Engineer says, oh, dude, you got to check out some of his comic stuff. Simple and elegant. Yeah, he has that level of style where he can just, what's the word? He can just be really efficient but beautiful about it. Like, he can exclude a lot of stuff, a lot of details, and it'll say exactly what he wants to say. He's just that nice with it. All right. Let me pull up my screen. Here we go. Nice. My pen is fully charged. Enter the studio. Nick Stream says, what comics do you have in floppies? Hey, bro, if I told you what comics I have in floppies, we'd be here all night and all day. But I'll show you my stack. Let me, this is the stack that I keep like nearby me because it has like the best comic art that I personally have seen in floppies. And I'm looking for one of them. Give me a sec. It's called The Beautiful Death by Matthew Bablet. Probably Bablet or something. Because he's French. And here we go. Yeah, I have a lot of comics and floppies, but whenever I buy a floppy, it's usually to get a sample of the art inside. So this one called The Beautiful Death by Matthew Bablet. That's my guess. He just has like, I don't know, top tier backgrounds. Like, he creates just to make these backgrounds top tier. Like, the characters, they'll look like, you know, whatever. Like, he has his own style for the characters. But the backgrounds is what he really cares about. And I like seeing artists who care about backgrounds, because I've always wanted to draw like really in-depth backgrounds like this, and really go in on something like that. But Like I said, that would take a long time to do as a solo artist, and as you can see, only his name is on this book. It seems like he's the only one drawing, writing, and editing it. And yeah, that's what the you know, that's the credits. So he's the only one doing that. And then I'll take you just a little bit through some of what I have here. This is what was it? Pack List by what's his name? Dustin Weaver. And man, I have just too much stuff. Because I collect styles, basically. I collect art styles. This one called Soul Saga by Steven, I think his name is Steven Platt. Yeah, Steven Platt. Soul Saga is like, has top tier 90s 90s art inside of it. Let me pull it open so you guys can see. Like, this is insane to me. I was just like, whoa, you can print stuff like this? This is amazing. I don't read comics nowadays, but I'm not sure if they're doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? Like, this was a guy drawing his absolute heart out on every single page, just making sure, like, hey, if we're gonna do a comic, we're gonna do a comic, man. We're gonna do it right. And look at this top tier stuff. This is what I mean by, like, there's certain things that you can do in comics that you can't do in manga. Certain things you can do in manga that you can't do in American comics. And this is one of those things. But the thing is, the only drawback is like the style is so detailed that Steven Platt, he couldn't draw fast enough to like meet monthly deadlines and make a consistent living in comics. So he basically had to quit comics and go do something he could, you know, something else. This is what Kazu told me. He said he went and became like a director, like a movie director or a stage director or something. And then I got this one by Liam Sharp, like this Wonder Woman comic by Liam Sharp. It's really, really nice on the interior, like top tier stuff. And the colors are just like really nice and lush, while everything is like clear and cool looking. So yeah, and that's just like a little tip of the iceberg of some of the floppies that I have. And then one thing I'm really proud of is like my Max collection. I have like the first 6 of the Max. So I got Max 1, Max 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. Do I have 6? And 6. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I have this Wolverine that Sam Keith did as well. And I think I heard he passed away recently. So yeah, so there's no more of any of this stuff coming out. So yeah, it's just, you know, I only have top tier stuff in floppies and whatnot. So yeah, I always keep those nearby in case I want to like flip through some good stuff. But yeah, let's see. Canvas Engineer says, that's what I love about comics. Vince V says, whoa. He says, you get to come up with your own stories and draw some insane stuff. The monthly deadline is a killer. Yep. Panel arrangement is such a diverse and fascinating treasure trove of approaches. Yeah, because I have these manga books about like things that help make a hit, or like essential theory, or like this one's about paneling specifically, and I can kind of read them. Like I have like a 4th grade reading level. This one's the manga laboratory by Yusuke Murata, who did One Punch Man, and I've always been meaning to get this to see if I can learn something from it. But at this point, it's like I've been doing comics so consistently recently that I basically know most of what what I might learn from that book to begin with. So, but the approach that manga recommends is completely different to the approach that Sam Keith might take in the Max. Like, it's completely unique what Sam Keith does in the Max, and you just can't copy that or boil it down to a simple formula that's easy to do. Like, look at this. It's unique and yet readable, and he's just doing it like this is his own style. And you watch, and there was an anime made out of this. Like, it's not even an anime, but there was a cartoon made out of this, and it was really good. That's how I got introduced to the show to begin with. It was through the cartoon, and I wanted to check out the comics to see if it would be something like the cartoon. And yeah, the voice acting on the cartoon was just really good and all that stuff. And then the comic just turned out to be like shot for shot like the cartoon, but it was really nice. Nick Stream says all these pages are hitting writing all of these comics down. Oh yeah, 100%. JOM says, what are the things you can't do in terms of comics? Nothing, but that's because you have to be able to draw everything, or you have to be able to do all aspects when you're doing a webcomic. You have to be able to do anything. So I can draw Transformers. I could draw, what's it called? Helicopters. I can do all like kinds of technical stuff, but they're all going to be on a varying degree of, what's the word? Technical ability. Like, if I were to draw a helicopter or a motorcycle, they're both gonna be, let me share my screen. They're both gonna be less, what's the word? They might be technically sound, but they'll have less character than somebody who dedicates their whole being to drawing helicopters and motorcycles. Like Sean Gordon Murphy, like, he loves drawing technology. He knows the inner workings of technology. Same with Akira Toriyama. He knows the inner workings of motorcycles and like things that have engines and stuff like that. So he can draw them and then even make up new vehicles that theoretically could work and can work, because he just knows the inner workings of vehicles so well that he can make them up. And so yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it on that level. I would be able to draw something normal, but it's kind of like learning anatomy. Like, you learn anatomy so that you're able to create whatever type of pose you want from whatever angle from your mind, or you can fill in the information that you just don't have if you're looking at a reference. But for me, for a motorcycle or a helicopter, I'd have to stick to the reference 100% because I just don't have any knowledge of the inner workings of those vehicles. Whereas with anatomy, I know what the skull looks like inside. I know where the eyes are placed inside. I know where the mouth is supposed to go and the teeth are. Because I've referenced so much and drawn so many characters and drawn so many bodies in the past, I just know how to make them look right. Whereas I wouldn't be able to do the same with motorcycles and stuff. Scaby says a goofy comic that I really like is Scout War Shaman. I think it's by Image Comics, not sure. Canvas Engineer says 90s Edge. Alpha Proto, I think that's it. Yeah, Alpha Proto. Hey, what's up, man? Says, yep, Toriyama was a gear ahead. Loved his mech model kits. Yeah. Gearhead. Loved his mech model kits. Yep. Yeah, he was. That's why he was top tier in drawing every vehicle that he made. Especially the vehicle that Bulma shows up in Dragon Ball. Like the one that is a motorcycle, but it's like a full circle around. Like that is something you can you don't just conceive of. And if you do, like if I were to come up with a motorcycle like that, I wouldn't be able to draw it as convincingly as Akira Toriyama because I just don't care about motor vehicles as much as he does. So his love of motor vehicles is going to show through with how he renders them and how he draws them. He's going to put that much extra care into those vehicles because he enjoys it. He loves it. Whereas if I was just getting hired to do it, there just wouldn't be as much love in the rendering of it. Which is another thing that's like that manga editors would encourage is just draw the things that you really like. Draw the things that you're super into. Because anything that makes the drawing process more enjoyable, more fun as you're doing it day to day is only a benefit. You know what I mean? It can only help you out. So I personally like coming up with and drawing like weird demons and putting characters in situations where they have to either run away from them or like face them or kill them or whatever. Because it's just, you know, like funny to me. But if Saintly didn't have all these like supernatural elements, I'd be kind of bored of drawing it. You know what I mean? Like putting the supernatural elements, I used to think, man, putting all that stuff in there is like a crutch. I should make it a realistic story so that I can work my way up to doing like a more fantastical thing. But no, you want to do the fantastical right up front, like as much as possible, because it will help you like enjoy drawing. It will help you like enjoy the process of creating. Like you'll be into it more. Because I wouldn't be as into Saintly if I couldn't do the crazy like supernatural stuff I'm doing with it. I'd be like kind of bored halfway through the process. I want to fix this water here. Ew. Okay, where is... I'm going to make some of this. Where is the... what do you call it? That's one. There we go. Let's see. Vince V says anatomy, automatony. What the? Akira Toriyama Bulma motorcycle in Dragon Ball is fire. Yep, it's top tier. Motorcycle with a hood. He's also really efficient at drawing firearms. I haven't even noticed that, but you would have to because they both kind of function the same way. I like the guns from Ghost in the Shell. Oh, that's a different artist. Yeah, that's a different artist. But Ghost in the Shell, I like that artist as well. I have a lot of samples of their art as well. Like I have, what do you call it? I have this book called Intron Depot. Oh, there it is. Yeah, this is the book. And it just has, let me see. Yeah, it's called Intron Depot. I found it at a discount bookstore. I got really lucky with it. And it has a bunch of art from the whole like early career of of Masamune Shiro, and it has stuff from like Black Magic, from from Appleseed, from uh Ghost in the Shell. This is a Ghost in the Shell page, and this is what the new anime is based off of, even though it looks like Gooner stuff to me. But yeah, he was super big back in the day, like just a top tier artist. Like he was drawing the hell out of everything, and he was writing the hell out of everything too. Like he would just write a lot of words, a lot of speech balloons, put a lot of panels on every page. I read Ghost in the Shell, like I think a little bit after high school, and I didn't understand a little bit of it, and I read it in English, and I was just like, oh damn, this has that scene in it, the scene that everybody was talking about online, the uncensored scene. Damn, I'll just look at that for a minute. Okay, well, we'll just skip past that page, but look at this. He was super big in the, like, the amount of work that he had adapted into anime. I don't think anyone else has had that level of success, really. Like he's like, what was the word, like just everything he made got adapted. Like he made Appleseed, adapted. Dominion, Tank Police, adapted. Appleseed, adapted. Black Magic, adapted. Ghost in the Shell, it was so good, it was adapted so many times, made into video games. Like he was just prolific. He had a certain style. The only thing that I don't think was adapted was this this other one that I have called Orion. Yeah, it's back there. It's called Orion, and that one had a little bit more fetishy stuff, but I guess that's why it wasn't adapted into something. But yeah, he just had such a run. Oh damn, it's got like a little fold out thing I've never seen. He just had such a run in the 80s and 90s that I don't think anyone could match it to this day. He was top tier, and now he just draws whatever he wants, but what he wants to draw is a lot more pornog, one might say. Cornog, as they say. But yeah, and he had those tendencies early on, but that's just this is what he does now. Let's see. Vince V says, "Oh wow, what a steal!" Oh yeah, 100%. John says, "What is the book title?" It is called Intron Depot 1. Ghost in the Shell, Appleseed. Vince V says, Ghost in the Shell, Appleseed all felt like a new world back then. Today, it's a niche. Cyberpunk stole the spotlight. Yeah, and the thing is like Cyberpunk, the way it is in modern day, has a specific look, and they all look the same. Like they use the same colors, like the neon purple, pink, and blue hues. Like Cyberpunk is so much more than what they're using to stylize it as. But that's just a popular way to portray it these days, and I'm like, it's a lot. There's a lot more nuance to the style of it, but it's not being expressed really. I'm trying to go for something that's kind of transparent. I wonder if I can do it. I wonder if I can pull that off. Let's see. Scabby says, "Are you a boob man or an ass man?" A question for the ages. I remember, what's it called? somebody at school, like at the Cooper school, asked me the same thing, and he said he was a boob man. And I told him boobs are just fake asses, because I'm the opposite. What was it? It came from this one show called Prison School. And Prison School is just a crazy, crazy, crazy show. It's literally insane, but it's funny as hell. And yeah. So that is that. Let me see. And then it says, I don't mind cybernetics in cyberpunk, but I think they should be a little more rare. Let me see. Okay, so I got kind of that going. And we're gonna have to continue it this way here. And I should put this under. Should I put this under the ink layer? No, that would be retarded. Let's see. John says Blade Runner sequel didn't do well. Neon is here to stay. Darn it. Yeah. Because Blade Runner was like old school cyberpunk. Same with Ghost in the Shell, like the original Mamoru Oshii movie. Both of those were like early cyberpunk, where it didn't have this defined pop aesthetic that it has now. It was still like finding a look, and it was just a really cool. And I'm not even a cyberpunk fanatic. I just like how those movies look, because they weren't trying to fit to a mold. They were trying to visually come up with the cyberpunk aesthetic. And a lot of that they got from The Long Tomorrow by Mobius, and probably the Inkle by Mobius as well. So they got a lot of the stylings from those two like major pivotal stories, and The Matrix, and all of that kind of factored into those old school versions of cyberpunk that we saw back then. Let me see. What time is it? Boob man, ass man. What about feet man? I am not feet man, but I understand feet man. From what I've heard, the guys that are into feet have their like wires crossed or something, where the stuff, the part of them that would normally like, you know, other sexual parts is mixed with the part that likes feet. So they just kind of got their wires crossed, but ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just the way they were created. Okay, so we got a good transparency effect going there. Nice. What I would do on top of that is add in some streaks. Whoops. Like that. Probably do it with this mechanical pencil. So talking about, how do we go from talking about drawings to ass and boobs and feet? Y'all started it, not me. I think that was a random question from one of y'all. I can't think right now. Let me see. Okay, here we go. How much longer? Let me see. What time is it? It's 2:09, 10:43. So I'll get off in about a few minutes. I barely got any work done on this thing, thanks to y'all with your questions and stuff. But I really enjoyed talking about Kubert school experiences and how I got started in the industry, and talking about all my books, because I just kind of have them laying around, and I don't really um, get to pull them out and show them off too often. So yeah, like starting to feel nice about like my collection and stuff. But yeah, Vince V says cybernetics are cool when they're practically designed. 2077 is just like, yeah, replace arms for some edge. Yeah, I have not seen. Is it the show or is it the anime? I don't know. Cyberpunk 2077 maybe. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Let me go to my screen here. Let me go here. Canvas Engineer says, "Oh, you're in my time zone." Oh, nice. Yeah, I always put the time zone in the description so people never get confused about when I'm going live. Let me see. I'll get off in about 5 minutes and just finish off what I can here. And I'll probably do a little bit more after stream. Not today, but on another day. Just to have more ready by next time. Because I just finished coloring my comic today. Finished coloring the last page of issue number 3. And I'm like, awesome. Now let me celebrate with a little break. I'll probably just take a break tomorrow. And then I'll finish the lettering on chapter 3. And then go straight into chapter 4. And that's just the way I'll do it. Here's what I want to do. I want to go to the highlight layer and make her eyes a little bluer. Oh, that's the part that's hidden. I was looking for the colors. Should they be that blue? I guess it's fine. Let me put some shine in there. Is this the shine layer though? The shine is going to be above the ink layer. I don't like doing it this way, but okay, there we go. I'm going to put that in basically white. I wonder what would happen if I hit the glow dodge on it. If I turn it off and then on, off and then on. Glow dodge. What about color dodge? Where is it? Add glow. I'm gonna do add glow. Put some right here. I'll remove those two. Okay. John says Masamune started it. Vivi cake must be seen for the artwork. The streets are begging for it. Nick String. Jesus Christ. Yeah. too bad it's just one piece of art right here. Like I literally can't turn her around. It's like she's not a 3D model, dude. she's kind of stuck this way, man. But yeah, that's just that's just the way it is, dude. All right, let me see. Oh, that's kind of weird. Wow, that's the shadows. That's the difference the shadows make. Wow. Okay. And now what? I mean, I could just liquefy the ink lines underneath the water, but is it really time for that? I mean, I guess I could. Where's the liquefy tool? Oh, there it is. It's really easy to identify because it's just like right there. Brush size. Does that look good? See, like, it's something I kind of have to be careful because it's on the ink layer. Here's what I'll do. I'll take a lasso tool. That way it only considers those lines. Nick Stream says, for the next. Naru says, Nick Stream, my brother. Vince V, RTX on off. On off. RTX on off. What'd that mean? And Twain, hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming out. Says, nice pool scene. Appreciate it, dude. Nick Stream says, Saintly fans are of a hive mind. That's crazy. Saintly isn't even out yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Okay, so what I'll do in this case is I'm gonna hit the. I'm always afraid of like ruining the layer and stuff, so I'm gonna hit a. I'm gonna hit one of these. I'm gonna copy that layer, turn that one off, and then I'll just adjust this one. I'll use the. What the? Oh, that's weird. That's kind of a happy accident there. I took out the what do you call it? The lines for them under the water, but then the shading is still there. So they're lined above the water, but underneath it's like there's no lines. And that's kind of interesting. That's what you call a happy accident. Like, I wasn't intending to do that, but I kind of like the look about it. And I'm thinking of keeping it that way. I don't know. I like it. I like it. Okay, so those are the lines when they're back. Okay, honestly, this should have been part of those lines to begin with. So I'm gonna have to put them. I'm gonna have to. Oh, that's why I couldn't do that, because it's got those other lines with it. Well, that is another problem for another day. I kind of like this. What's going on there with their legs underneath the water. But we'll cap it here and hit save before it, crashes out on me or something. But yeah. Vince V says, are you ready to draw glossy highlights on every tile? It's not gonna be that bad. I'm just gonna do like what do you call it? I have a couple of methods to do it. First, I'm gonna go in with like a kind of a rough not a rough thing, but I'm gonna go in with a different brush. Yeah, one of these brushes. And I'll use that. And I'll just give you a preview of what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do to these motherfucking tiles. I'm gonna do something like this. Hit that with a soft light or something like that. And we're gonna give the tiles like some type of soft texture, like this. You can probably barely see it. I'm probably gonna use a different blending mode. I'm gonna have that be under the ink layer. I'm gonna hit it with a texture like that. Gonna erase away at it. And then basically I'll just take my line tool and just draw lines over it. Like shiny lines. And this will be like a add layer or something like that. And I'll just do something like this over every tile, and it won't be so bad. It'll actually be quite easy. And that already gives it a little bit of dimension. So yeah, that'll be something like that. But we'll leave it here for now. It looks like it's coming along. I really do like how that kind of accidentally worked out. But yeah, that'll be it. Let's see. Put a rubber duck demon in the pool, JK. It won't be in the pool, but it'll be in the back here somewhere. JOM says, good stream, good night, good journey. Appreciate it, man. Vince V says, oh, sweet. Dang. Nice. Nice. So yeah, that will be it. That's the current progress on this piece. It's almost done. And yeah. There we go. Awesome, y'all. Yeah, I really enjoyed talking to everybody today, and it was really fun getting to look at all my comics and talk about some of my past and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna head out, probably go eat, take a walk, and I'll see you in the next stream and in the next video. Peace.